Big shout out to Sporting Icons, best channel out there.
Hello everybody, hope you're all doing fantastic. So firstly, apologies for the lack of videos over the last week or two. I've been extremely busy doing other things, okay, which I have to take priority, unfortunately, because I do like doing these videos. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the top 25 British and Irish heavyweights. These are your rankings, not any other sanctioning bodies. These are the fans' rankings based on the last several videos on this particular subject, on your comments. For each and every video, I'll make the adjustments based on recent fights that have happened and all that kind of good stuff. These are not based on feelings, if you like. It's not a case of, well, fighter B might beat fighter D. Well, we don't know that until we see it, okay? This is based on what they have done, not what they might do, if that makes sense. So if you are new to the channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Nobody else really does this on YouTube, do they? So please feel free to subscribe if you're a boxing fan. So top 25, here we go. Number 25, William Howe. Number 24, Matty Harris. Number 23, Cash Ali. Number 22, Moses Atuma. Number 21, Jay McFarlane. Number 20, Nathan Gorman. Number 19, Tommy Welch. Number 18, Nick Campbell. Number 17, Thomas Carty. Number 16, Jamie TKV Tashkiva. Number 15, Stephen Robinson. Number 14, Franklin Ignatius. Number 13, Johnny Fisher. Number 12, David Allen. Number 11, Solomon Dakers. Number 10, David Adelaide. Number 9, Fraser Clark. Number 8, Hughie Fury. Number 7, Dan Dubois. Number 6, Derek Chisora. Number 5, Fabio Wardley. Number 4, Joe Joyce. Number 3, Dillian Whyte. Number 2, Anthony Joshua. And number 1, Tyson Fury. So there you have it. That is a new top 25. Now, I will be doing another video after Christmas once the December 23rd fight date is out of the way, because that may make a bit of an impact on this one, and maybe one or two other heavyweights on this list may have a fight. Okay, so I'll close off the year with the year-end top 25 British and Irish heavyweights. Now, fights that are coming up will be, of course, Anthony Joshua, who's number 2, versus Otto Wallin. That'll be December 23rd in Saudi Arabia. And of course, you've got number 7, Dan Dubois, taking on big baby Jaramilla on that very same card. On February 17th, also in Saudi Arabia, the undisputed heavyweight world title fight between Tyson Fury, number 1, against Alexander Usyk. Okay, so changes. I suppose the biggest changes will be Tommy Welch. Tommy Welch is now 13-0, and at long last, he actually took on somebody who was undefeated. It's taken a while, but eventually he got there, so well done to him. And it wasn't just a 5-0 who's been fighting puddings, it was a 5-0 who was fighting other prospects and defeated them. So that was a very good win for Tommy Welch. He bounced Jonathan Vergara around the ring. Okay, I think he dropped him like 4 times or something, and ultimately stopped him in round number 4, and that was on November the 10th in Tommy Welch's hometown of Brighton. And of course, a couple of weeks later, on December the 1st, he took on 24-6 fighter Tariel Jafarov. I'd never heard of him, much like I'd never heard of Vergara either. But he stopped him in the first round, and that was in a obscure card in Dubai. Now, he is 13-0 now, which is fantastic. And for me, I want to see him fight somebody in his top 25. Really, because I think 13 fights, I think he's had his bedding in period now. A lot of fighters who are in this top 25 have had far less fights and have fought better opposition. So I'd like to see Tommy Welch really step it up. Thomas Carty, Thomas Carty's now 7-0, but Thomas Carty on this list is number 17. Now, last time out, he fought and defeated Dan Garber. Dan Garber was 5-1. It's not a guy I've heard of before, and that took place on the Chantel Cameron versus Katie Taylor rematch card in Ireland. Okay, so Thomas Carty, 7-0, looking really, really good. Again, I'd like to see him fight somebody on this top 25 as well. I really would. Solomon Dakers, he's recently had a fight as well against Michael Webster. Michael Webster, in my opinion, and I know a lot of you who watched it as well, your opinions are exactly the same. Michael Webster punched Solomon Dakers all over the place. Handedly beat him, but somehow the judges gave the fight to Solomon Dakers, the English heavyweight champion. Is it because that was his debut on a Frank Warren Queensberry show? Possibly. Is it because the British Box Border Control and their officials are biased when it comes to North East fights? That seems to be the case as well. Okay, but either way, Poor performance from Solomon Dakers. He definitely lost that fight. So I want to see him take on, say, a Queensberry fighter in David Adelaide next. That would be ideal for me. Now, I've already mentioned fights that have already been announced, such as Joshua and Dubois and Fury and all that kind of stuff. So now I want to talk about fights that I'd like to see in the first quarter of next year. Okay, latest halfway through, because there's some fights there that really need to happen, I think, to really solidify certain people's positions. For example, Fabio Wardley. I'd like to see him take on Fraser Clark. I think that'd be a great fight for the British heavyweight title, of course. I'd also like to see Hughie Fury take on Derek Chisora. Of course, Hughie, he needs a comeback fight first. He's been out for quite some time with illness, so have a comeback fight, and then let's see him take on someone like a Derek Chisora. Again, I'm just going based on this top 25 here. Of course, there's international fights. Of course, we'd like to see others than that as well. Joyce, I'd like to see him take on Dillian Whyte, providing, of course, Dillian Whyte can clear his name with the PED situation that's going on. If Dillian Whyte can clear his name, then I think Joyce versus Dillian Whyte would be great. Again, Dillian Whyte is still ranked here. I know some of you say he should be dropped, but he hasn't been found guilty yet. Granted, he hasn't been found innocent either, but until that situation resolves itself, he shall remain. I'd like to see Nick Campbell take on Hosea Stewart. Now, that fight was supposed to have happened about a week. Yeah, I think it was about a week ago. That fight was supposed to have happened. Quite why it didn't happen, I don't know. Nick Campbell was supposed to have fought a few weeks ago against Michael Webster, the guy who, for most of us, beat Solomon Dakers, right? And for some reason, Nick Campbell pulled out of that fight card. I was actually filming that fight card as well, so that's very disappointing. But quite why he's not fighting Hosea Stewart, or didn't fight Hosea Stewart, I don't know. I mean, was the show pulled? Did one of them two pull out? I have no idea whatsoever. So get that fight on, okay? Stephen Robinson, I'd like to see him take on Cash Ali. Now, I know them two are friends, and they've sparred quite a bit and everything, but I think it's important that at this stage, they fight each other. I really do. Matty Harris, of course, he took a stoppage loss not so long ago, and he hasn't had a bounce back fight since. But I'd like to see him come back, have a bounce back win, and take on Moses Ituma. Jamie TKV, I'd like to see him take on Tommy Welch. Again, there's no reason why that fight can't happen. TKV is a boxer, Sky Sports fighter. Tommy Welch is a McHennessy fighter, or I believe he still is. Is he still part of Sky Sports' plans? I don't know. But either way, it can still happen. Of course it can. I'd like to see Johnny Fisher take on Thomas Carty. Both of them are Matchroom fighters. There's no reason in the world why that fight can't happen. I think Matchroom are a little bit afraid to put them two together in case one of them take a loss, which of course would happen, you would presume at least, or barring a draw. So I wouldn't expect that fight to happen anytime soon, but it should. And I'd like to see Dave Allen take on Nathan Gorman. For me, that would be a fight of winner moves on, loser potentially retires, because Nathan Gorman, of course, he did lose his last fight. I'm against a guy who beat Cash Ali in Cash Ali's last fight as well. So, listen, I forgot his name, to be honest. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. But Nathan Gorman, his career has somewhat been derailed lately. And it is what it is, okay? But him against Dave Allen, it's a fight that should have happened quite some time ago and didn't. So I would like to see it, I really would. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this top 25. Of course, you drop me yours. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? And more importantly, why do you disagree with them? Don't just say, so-and-so shouldn't be ranked there. Well, tell me why. And who should be ranked there? Okay? Anyway, my thoughts. Drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.